Hello, I'm Pastor Matthew Verhoeg from the Valley Alliance Church, and this is a sermon in 3 minutes. Today we're looking at Luke chapter 16, verse 18. Everyone who divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery, and he who marries a woman divorced from her husband commits adultery. Jesus highlights that divorce breaks the moral law, in that divorce and remarriage is adultery. Jesus' most complete teaching about marriage is in Matthew 19, in which the Pharisees ask Jesus if you can divorce your wife for any reason. Jesus tells them, this is a bad question. And by the way, you should never be looking at how much sin you can get away with and still be right with God. That would be like asking the doctor, how much poison can I eat exactly before I die? What you should be looking at is how to glorify God in all that you do. Now, Jesus says marriage was created by God. He made them male and female and said, therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. God's design in marriage is one man and one woman united for as long as they both shall live. Jesus tells us, so they are no longer two, but one flesh. What, therefore, God has joined together, let not man separate. Now, if you're looking to get out of a marriage, you're asking the wrong question. What you should be asking is how to glorify God by walking in his original design. Now, this doesn't mean there are no cases where divorce is the only option. What it means is divorce isn't the first option, but only a last resort. For Jesus says, and I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another commits adultery. Sexual union is a sacred covenantal act in which a husband and wife physically show their spiritual one flesh union. If this covenant is broken by a partner committing adultery, this is sufficient grounds to dissolve a marriage. Now, one may and probably should seek forgiveness and reconciliation, but in such cases, a partner is not bound. The other biblical grounds for divorce, I believe, is willful separation. 1 Corinthians 7:15 says, but if the unbelieving partner separates, let it be so. In such cases, the brother or sister is not enslaved. God has called you to peace. If one is in the unfortunate situation of being abandoned by a spouse, they are not bound. While the church stands against the tragedy of easy divorce in this age, we realize divorce can be an option. This position on divorce isn't new. It's in line with documents as old as the Westminster Confession of Faith, which is almost 400 years old. Now, you could use probably more detail on this, and maybe you should listen to the whole sermon. If you're interested, you can click on the link below.